Hey YouTube, in this video I'm going to be doing a deck profile on my updated Silver Thorn, or not Silver Thorn, my updated Pale Moon Legion deck. So, after playtesting the deck that I built originally, I didn't really like the way it played, and I was losing quite a few of the matches most of the time. It still did relatively good, but I feel like the Beast Tamers, the fact that like you have to always have one in the soul for it to be live, and you can't just call it out when my soul's getting depleted in late game. I didn't really like that. So I decided to go back and look and see what cards I had available. And all I had really was a bunch of Silver Thorns, and one of the cards was one of my favorite Pale Moon Vanguards, Luquier Reverse. She wasn't doing anything, so I was like, you know what, it's time to revive the Reverse. So this is going to be my, I like to call it the Dark Legion. So this is Pale Moon. It's the Legion combined with Reverse. So this is what I came up with. And I must say, I'm satisfied with the results. The deck is a lot better than it was before. The Legion gets to call a lot better units to the field when the skill goes off. And the columns are a lot more powerful too. That's the main difference. So 4 Cracking Beast Tamer for the Legion, and then 4 Luquier Reverse. She is a very good advantage card. So that's basically probably one of Pale Moon's best Vanguards. Venus Luquier, I kept that deck the way it was. So that deck still has my 4 Luquier, the older Luquier. So that's got the Cross Ride and the Limit Break playstyle. Whereas this one's the Legion combined with Reverse. So for grade 2s, Barking Sky Tiger, Legion Mate for Cracking Beast Tamer, so you gotta run 4 copies for it to be as consistent as possible. And then the other one is Silver Thorn Upright Lion. So this guy, so both of these, we'll do some setups at the end, but both of these are the ones that get your power columns, and the more I play the deck, the more I feel like I should probably tech in like 2 stand triggers, but as of right now I'm not running stands. And then 4 Silver Thorn Marionette Lillian, mainly because she's a Silver Thorn. You want your Silver Thorn effects to go off as much as possible early game, because as soon as you ride Cracking Beast Tamer, Irina doesn't really do anything. So 4 of this, 10k defense, really good. It's a Silver Thorn, typical, used to be the most commonly played grade 2 with a Luquier after the 12k. And the reason I don't run the 12k Silver Thorn is because it's pointless when you have Cracking Beast Tamer as your Vanguard. So Lillian's a lot better. For grade 1s, 4 Perfect Guards. I highly recommend, if you have Lydia, run Lydia. The only reason why I'm not running Lydia is because she's in my Venus Luquier deck. I didn't want to mess it up, so stuck with him, but ideally you want Lydia. If you want this deck to be as competitive as possible, you definitely want Lydia. Go maximize your Silver Thorns. The only non-Silver Thorns should be your Legion, the Legion Mate, and this next card. So 4 Purple Trapezist. Purple Trapezist over Zelma only because she can cycle your, like if you call this to the rear guard to attack with, later on when you call Purple Trapezist, you can cycle this out for like an Upright Lion or a Tiger or even a Lillian. I mean, you're gaining an Interceptor, and this is still forming a 16k. This is still hitting the magic number, even though you're giving up an 11k for that. So it's not a big deal. So Purple Trapezist, downside of her, she doesn't work with Irina. You won't be able to put her into the soul like you can with Zelma, but she's just overall the more consistent card. If you want, you can try doing like 2 Trapezist and 2 Zelma. Only reason why I never tried that is, like I said, my 4 Zelmas are in my Venus Luquier deck, and I'm not gonna mess it up. Next, 3 Irina. Ideally, you're gonna see her effect early game. The only time you'll ever see it late game is if you're using Luquier Reverse as your Vanguard. So keep that in mind. She only activates her effect when your Vanguard's Silver Thorn. And then 3 Anna, best booster, good pressure card. Ideally, you want this behind the Vanguard, and then if you have another one, just wherever it needs to be to form proper columns. And that's the grade 1 lineup. For the trigger lineup, this should be 4 Barking Dragon, but apparently I only had 7 of them. out of 4 boxes. So one box only had one. So yeah. But ideally you want your Silverthorn trigger lineup. So 4 of those. But then I did run Poison Juggler, because the Margot clone, you can put it in Soul if you have to power up like something like Lillian, so you can hit a cross ride, you know, those typical plays. Plus 8 critical, just that much more pressure than running Rainbow. However, like I said at the beginning of the video, sometimes these rear guard columns get so powerful that I kind of wish I had stand triggers. And then for draw, it's a Silverthorn. Okay, the main reason why I play this, I don't really like draw triggers that much because of their horrible 5k defense. I understand why they have 5k defense, but they're so bad against going against a deck like Glare and all these decks that have like Glory Maelstrom effects. I just can't stand how this is a terrible card to block with. So the only reason why I run draw is you want to draw into Cracking Beast Tamer as much as possible, because her effect can only go off when she legions. So after that turn, she's like Phantom Blaster Abyss. She's just the vanilla legion after that. And then the starter is Silverthorn Beast Tamer Emile. This is probably the best Silverthorn, or this is just the best Pale Moon starter in general. Like, the amount of times this card puts in so much work. Like, I cycle this thing in and out. I mean, I get this thing in, then I get it back out with her effect. I get it back out with Purple Trapezist, or not. Oh no, I cycle it back in, and Purple Trapezist goes off. It's crazy. So typically, your field setup would look like this. You would have this here. You'd have something like a tiger. Let's say she's there. Or, you know what, this is here. You've already used this. This is in the Soul. Lillian's in the Soul. Lion's in the Soul. And something random's in the Soul. Like, let's say you turn 1 road, Purple Trapezist, or something. You know, so you got a Soul like this. And Irina put this in the Soul. I'm just giving you like a bad example. So, you do Seek Mate, whatever. You go Legion. You do her effect, Counterblast 2, call 3 units. So, first unit you call, Upright Lion. That's unit number 1. Both of these gain 3k from that. Then your next 2 cards you want to be, ideally you want Silverthorns, but if you want, you can get this and Purple Trapezist. So what I would do is I would do it like this. I would get, first, I would, out of these 3, this goes first. These gain 3k. Second, Emile, that's a Silverthorn, so this gains 3k. It's the second unit, those gain 3 more k, so they're plus 6. This is plus 3. Third unit is Purple Trapezist. She will come out. He will not gain 3k because she's not a Silverthorn. These will, so they're plus 12. But then you can use Purple Trapezist to cycle either Anna in and out or Emile in and out. So he'll still gain 3k more, they'll gain 12k. So that's going to be 3, 6, 9, 12. Plus 12 to these 2. And for him, it will be 3, 6. So he'll be plus 6. That's going to be 15 plus 6, that's 21. So he hits his number, basically, at the end of the day. So that's, and then, like later on with Anna, if you really have to, let's say they no guard your Legion, you can counterblast 1, and, you know, what I would do first is I would attack with probably this lane first, and then if they don't guard, yeah. So you first, this is why I feel like stands could be beneficial for them, depending on the situation, but this is still in the Soul. So you attack first with this. So that's 12 plus 9 plus 5. So that's, yeah. So that's going to go first. Then the Legion goes second. So you were at 3 damage. You counterblast 2. So you got like 1 counterblast left. You're at 3 to 4 damage typically when you do this. So if they no guard this, because they're at like 3 damage or whatever, Anna's effect's going to go off. So now you can call Lillian out. I mean, it's up to you. Depending, you have to gauge the opponent's hand size and, you know, their damage and how much pressure you want to put. Because keep in mind that at the end of the day, Anna's effect, this gets to come in. you may be able to snipe a rear guard with this, but at the end of the day, it's going to go back into the soul. So you do lose a 5k interceptor. Of course, this goes into the drop zone, so you can Legion again later on. But it's a personal thing. Like, you have to decide, you know, based on what the opponent has, if you want to use this effect or not. But bottom line is, she generates a lot of pressure. The opponent feels more inclined to try to guard your Legion, and that's going to be really difficult to guard, because this is going to be like, this is plus 12, so that's 22 plus 7, so yeah. And then you get to call this out if they don't guard. This guy goes up by 3k more. This is a Silver Thorn, so now you can snipe Interceptor, and then go, like, if you checked a crit, this is even 5k more on top of that. So that's basically how the deck works. It's a lot better than the way it was before. What would be amazing is if Cracking Beast Tamer was Silver Thorn Cracking Beast Tamer. Then this deck would probably be in a different tier level, in my opinion. But anyway, guys, let me know what you think about mixing Silver Thorns with the Legion. I am definitely liking the results, especially since Luquier Reverse is one of my favorite Pale Moon Vanguards. So let me know in the comments what you think of the deck. I've been playtesting it. It works pretty good so far. But yeah, like I said, if you have Lydia, run Lydia. And if you want to try like one Zelma, you can take one Purple Trapezist for one Zelma. So anyway, let me know in the comments what you think. And as always, don't forget to subscribe. Thanks.